What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Wars in the Stars. Today is episode 36. Excuse me. We're going to talk about What If episode 8, What If Ultron 1, and we're going to do a Venom Let There Be Carnage preview. Today, guys, I am joined by a very special guest who you may or may not have seen on this channel quite often. It is time to bring him in and introduce himself.
Oh
Alex?
damn! I had a whole bit planned and it didn't work.
Okay, Alex
Mm.
is back, guys. He took a little month, 4 week hiatus. He was
So
off. He was off. Perfecting his school craft and taking a break. We all need a break sometimes. Alex, how's it going, my man? We talked this past weekend, and this is the second time we've talked. How's it going?
it's been a doozy. I'll say that, and I've missed this surprisingly. I want to make sure.
Surprisingly, that's insulting, but thank you.
No. It's not insulting. It's a compliment that I missed this. Yeah, schools and all that has been going fine and all that. Really, all I've been working on is the Mark 85, and you guys should go check my TikTok so you can see one of the latest updates on the suit. So yeah, it's just I needed to take a little bit of a break to, test out scheduling and whatnot, but I should be fine now.
Yeah, I mean, I was doing our schedule today, because we'll talk about Book of Boba Fett later. But I was doing our schedule today, and I was just looking over some things, and um, we're pretty busy at the end of the year. It gets crazy once the Eternals comes out. So like, nice. Took a little break when there was nothing happening, and I mean, there's always stuff happening, but compared to later in the year,
Oh
so.
yeah.
Yeah, so with that said, Alex and I discussed this past weekend, um, and more him specifically. Correct me if I'm wrong here, but we're not going to talk about leaks or rumors as much. Um, and I kind of felt bored talking about it myself. I felt like I talked about Doctor Strange basically every single week at this point. And yeah, it kind of got boring for me. And Alex, correct me if I'm wrong. You just don't like that type of stuff, or like it's
It just
eh,
it felt like it was taking the fun out of some things. It felt like we talked about leaks so much. I knew so much of what was going to happen and things like Kenobi and whatnot. I'm just like not excited. I wasn't excited for them anymore. So I think just for the overall improvement, I think talking about semi-confirmed things or like basically confirmed things, I don't think that's anything problem. But I also think it's not fun for people who are like general watchers who want to just watch for fun and whatnot to have things like spoiled or anything. So even though we do put our spoiler warning, it's still something that is just like it's not that fun to talk about, honestly. So
yeah. I disagree. I differ in that a little bit, but
yeah,
yeah, I totally get it, and I think for just like the sake of the podcast and stuff, sometimes it would be something really simple that would take 5 minutes, or something that would divulge. I think now, shorten it up a little bit and just talking about certain main topics and official announcements will be beneficial to the show moving forward. And the other thing that I wanted to talk about was the October schedule. So October, compared to the rest of the year and compared to the upcoming year, is pretty bare bones. As of right now, for the 6th of October, we have the What If Episode 9 finale as our main topic. And then for the 3 weeks after that, Alex and I discussed we're probably going to rewatch movies. We're not sure what movies yet. We'll let you guys know. Probably not going to do DC stuff. Neither one of us are big DC guys. So we'll pick something. I kind of want to do something with Star Wars because I kind of got
yes.
bored of watching Marvel movies. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of get oversaturated with them. I
Oh
don't know if
yeah.
you feel the same way.
No, I felt the same way.
Yeah, I
It,
just
it, it was getting kind of hard to be like, oh, I can't wait to go watch another Marvel movie.
right. Yeah. It kind of loses its its flavor.
Yeah, I think we should do Star Wars if you want my honesty, but
Yeah. Oh, we'll talk about it after. Yeah.
yeah.
But anyways, guys, it is now time to jump in to the first main topic.
Alec,
Alex,
wow, I've been gone for so long, you forget who I am.
Alex, what is our first main topic today?
Our first main topic today is what if Ultron won?
Yeah,
And Jesus, what an episode!
yeah.
You know, I've been gone while we talk about What If. I don't remember the last episode I was here for. I think it might have been
Supreme Strange, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, Supreme Strange. And you know, I'll give my quick thoughts. I don't think it's been the best. Definitely better than things like the Bad Batch and whatnot. But just not something that's like gripped me like something like WandaVision or Loki did. Um, but then these just like last few episodes have just been crazy. You know, again, I ended off here, you know, Strange Supreme, and that was an insane episode. Then, you know, Party Thor. Whoa, what are they gonna do for that episode? And then the Ultron ending. You know, it's just like, what is going on? And this episode, I don't know how you felt. It's my favorite of the season so far.
Yeah, I definitely really enjoy this episode. It's up there with the likes. I think Supreme Strange. It's actually probably one of my favorite Marvel things ever. I
Mhm.
love it like that much. So like this is up there, probably in the top three. With I like zombies a lot, and I like episode three more than you do, the Hank Pym episode.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's a bad episode of What If, but this one is definitely up there. I do have some problems with it. I talk about it in my TikTok with a specific character that gets split in half. I wish there was more. I wish there was a little bit more to that. We'll go in depth of that later. But yeah, overall, I really enjoyed it. I gave it like an 8.5 or a 9 out of 10. I loved it
Yeah.
generally.
I think honestly for me, kind of tied with the T'Challa episode. You know, which kind of feels weird that, you know, to take into mind that T'Challa, Star Lord, Captain Carter, uh, and some of these other heroes are gonna come back in the finale, but we haven't heard or seen from them since their episodes.
Right.
So it's just like, oh, what is going? How are like? I wonder. Like, quick question for you: how long do you think this finale is gonna be?
An hour.
I think it has to be an hour, bro.
Yeah.
If it's anything shorter, and well, when we talk about Venom, I'll go a little bit more into the timing of things. But I feel so weird if it feels like a. How long are these episodes? Like 30 minutes?
Yeah, a little. Well, with actual content, it's like 28.
Yeah. So I'm hoping for an hour
Oh,
total.
totally. I feel like we almost have to get like an hour. We have to bring all these heroes together. Plus, you have to kind of tie their individual stories all their loose ends. So like, there's a
Yeah.
lot of stuff you have to do. You can't do that in 30 minutes.
Right. I also, you know, I talked about this when I was talking about the Captain Carter episode. I really like the, you know, when the Watcher said what changed the timeline. You know, Peggy wanting to stay with Steve. I wish that would have continued. I wonder why they stopped. I wonder why they only did it for one episode
Right.
because
Yeah.
it's not very clear from episode to episode what changed. All
Right.
we know is that it just changed.
Yeah.
Like for instance, the T'Challa Star Lord episode. What changed there? Because like, what would have changed so much that they like went to Wakanda by mistake? So yeah, I don't know. I personal thing for me, I wish we would have got to see it, but see more of that.
Yeah. Yeah. I totally get that. But I guess to move in to the actual episode. So this episode, it opens up with the events of Age of Ultron, I guess. But if Ultron was able to find an organic being, that being Vision, and What If does its favorite thing by killing Tony Stark,
For
which
the
they just
fourth
love.
time.
They love doing. Like the rest of the Avengers are dead. We could allude to that, but Tony, they're like, we're gonna kill him on screen,
We have to show it.
right? And yeah, and then Vision nukes the whole planet. And I really love what this episode. I don't know about you, Alex. I love what this episode does with the two weakest Avengers. I like
Yeah,
the exploration into Hawkeye and
yeah.
Natasha's character even more. I
But
want
you
to hear
know,
like
yeah, I
yeah,
want to say before I go on the whole Tony Stark thing. technically we've seen him die 5 times in What If because we see him snap, and that's what kills him,
Yeah.
like officially. Like Marvel is just like, you know what? Robert Downey Jr. would never let us kill him so much. Let's just kill him every time we see him.
Right. Right.
Yeah, but yeah, I really liked Clint in this episode. Somehow Clint got a robotic arm. I don't know how that happened, but it did. So yeah, I thought their dynamic was really good in this episode. You know, I will say like one of my favorite things was Clint's death in this episode. Just the absolute, you know, of course, allude to Endgame and you know what happened there. It was amazing. So I'm just like, I don't know. It's like I love this so much. This episode for me like is some of Clint's best stuff.
Oh,
I think
definitely.
I think we've seen Clint deal with the grief of losing his family twice, and I think this was the more heartbreaking one. He legit just kills himself because he can't fight anymore.
Right.
When we see in the actual timeline, he becomes a vigilante and goes on a murder spree. I think it's just so much more interesting that like we see him essentially commit suicide. You know,
Yeah.
trigger warning there, uh, because he just can't fight anymore. He can't bring himself to do it. It's
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I really love like how the first thing is like that he mentions when the world is falling apart is he mentions his girlfriend slash wife. It's like
Mm,
the first thing he brings up. He doesn't bring up the Avengers. He doesn't bring up the rest of the planet.
yeah,
Which is it's a really interesting connection he has to his family. And this is the type of Hawkeye I want in the Hawkeye show. Like he's gonna have severe PTSD from all the stuff he did as Ronin, but just like
mm,
everything he saw, Natasha dying, and like this is the kind of the Clint I want in Hawkeye. I don't want just like, oh, it's Christmas, yeah, let's be happy, you
right.
know. Um,
Hey, I we can already tell we're gonna get a badass version of Clint Barton in that show.
oh yeah, right, right,
So yeah, I'm just
but
like, you know, this is honestly one of my favorite appearances of Clint. You know, as a Clint stan,
right,
um, this is easily one of his best appearances. I still think, I mean, barring the obvious like Thor cameo that he had, I think I think arguably his worst appearance was the first Avengers movie.
absolutely,
He didn't do much. He went to fight an alien invasion with no sleeves on, which I guess granted he did that in Age of Ultron too, but he wore a coat most of the time.
right,
It was towards the end of the battle that he took it off because he
right.
thought the battle was over.
Well, he was sweating also too, so he's like, you know, I
Yeah,
gotta take this off.
yeah. But like my man almost died to glass in that movie.
Right.
Like so that's one of his weakest. I think this was so strong. I also think this is one of Natasha's strongest appearances also.
Absolutely.
I don't know, like where you stand on the Natasha Romanoff stan, you know, spectrum. But like this was a good episode for her. I also love the like official canonization of the Red Guardian shield.
Yeah.
You know, he alludes that he has one, and we saw like the Black Widow figures. He had a shield in that, and now we actually see it, which looked great by the way.
And I love how she uses it too in this episode. That was really cool. Kind of like a mirror of her dad and Captain America, who she obviously served alongside. Which, by the way, is also one of my favorite cameos. The Steve Rogers as the president.
Yes,
I
yes,
really love that. That was so funny.
yes. Big
That's so
fan.
funny.
President
Uh,
Steve, man.
which kind of perfectly okay. So let's go back to Ultron. So Ultron um, destroys the Earth. Um, and it was really creepy having Ultron's voice come out of Vision. That was just so weird. Um,
It felt wrong.
it did. It did feel wrong. And then we see Thanos come through the portal. So somehow he got the stones. He probably sacrificed Nebula instead
Yeah,
because we
like
see Gamora die.
my whole thing. Ooh, voice crack. Sorry. My whole thing is a part of these what ifs. There's honestly a what if in front of it as well.
Right.
Uh, like for instance, you know, what if like for Sorcerer Supreme Strange, or for Supreme Doctor Strange. The real what if is what if Christine was in the car for the accident. That's the real what if of that episode. Um, I mean, I know the real what if is what if he lost his heart instead of his hands, but the true big what if is what if she was there during the accident. And easily the biggest one I think here is what if Thanos went for the stones 2 years earlier? We see it
Yeah.
has a huge ripple effect. I would want to know, how did he get all the other stones? So that we know at this point the Power Stone is still in Xandar. He can get that easily. The Space Stone is on Asgard. So how did Thanos get to Asgard?
Right.
I assume in his ship, but are you really trying to say Asgard couldn't fend him off? I don't
Yeah.
know. How did he get? I mean, the Reality Stone was with the Collector. We can assume that was the same. Who did he sacrifice?
Nebula.
Why would he sacrifice Nebula though? He's
I
in
don't know,
charge.
but in this universe, he must have.
Why would he not do it with Gamora? Oh yeah, we see Gamora die. I don't know. How did he get the Time Stone?
Probably off of Strange's dead body somewhere.
Oh, maybe. But yeah, I know you want to talk about what happened to Mr. Thanos in this episode.
Okay. It's okay. So I don't I see people complaining like, oh, why did Vision just do that in Infinity War or Endgame? It's like,
There's
okay.
there's literal explanation that my man got stabbed.
Right. Yes. Right. Watch the movie. Um,
Watch the movie first before you ask.
but like really, like we got a 2 minute fight with Carol. We couldn't get like a 2 minute fight with
Yeah.
Thanos and Ultron. Like I didn't need we split Thanos in half. Like Thanos literally had 5 of the Infinity Stones. You're telling me he couldn't do
Right.
anything? Like I don't
My
hate it,
look,
but like
my guy went like this. Zzz, cut in
right.
half. All 6 stones.
Yeah, I really wish there was an actual fight because it would have been interesting to have.
Would have. It literally would have. I don't know, man. But like, yeah, my jaw literally dropped to the ground. I was just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, me too. I was like,
We
what?
we
It's like we just
literally see that Thor, Scarlet Witch, Black Panther, Captain America, Iron Man. None of these guys could handle him with like a few, like those 5 stones, or in the case of Iron Man with 4 stones. Doctor Strange
right,
can handle him with 4 stones. Ultron just kind of like fascinating, and bitch got cut in half. I also like how Thanos like didn't move. I also like
right,
that he like flaunts the stones at him.
right.
It
And he
was
also has like a facial expression as he's getting chopped in half. Like he's
yeah.
surprised. It's like that's funny. But like at the same time, we got a 2 minute fight with Carol, who is made of an Infinity Stone, but like
Mm,
would have not as been as interested as a Thanos versus Ultron fight.
yeah.
With
I think
obviously Ultron win in the end, but
I think also another thing is like I think what's really upsetting is like, I think that could have been a cool fight, but honestly, I think would have been an even cooler fight is seeing like Thanos like work with the remaining Avengers to fight him. Because the thing that I'm
mm,
confused about is, you know, the zombies are coming back. We know from finale trailer footage that Party Thor mentions the zombies,
right.
but how and why?
Yeah.
So let me ask you. We see that little like Avengers esque team up shot for the next episode, which I think. Do we know the title of it?
No, we do not.
Because I know the marketing for that team is called the Guardians of
Guardians
the
of the Multiverse.
Multiverse. Yeah. So it's like, do you think he's gonna bring like for the team so far? We know there's Thanos, Gamora, where's she gonna fit into all this?
Right.
Black Widow, or what? I don't remember how she's marketed. Or Survivor, Black Widow, Supreme Strange, Party Thor, Captain Carter.
Killmonger.
Is he gonna be a part of that though?
Yeah, he is. He's in the shot.
I didn't see him.
He is.
Killmonger, so there's 6. But then how do the zombies come into all this?
Right.
So like
Right.
are you gonna tell me that they're gonna get like those remaining Avengers from the episode? Like what was there? Bucky, Peter, Hulk, and whatnot?
Scott Lane.
Scott Lang.
Right. Uh, yeah, I don't know how they're gonna do that. Cause how are they gonna explain Gamora as like Thanos? Like you're gonna be like, yeah, just have
That
Gamora as Thanos here.
like that needs a whole episode in itself.
Right. Because that's what I thought. I thought it was gonna be a whole episode. Or maybe we were just all duped and it's 10 episodes and we
Maybe.
but yeah, okay, now back to the episode again. We see Ultron destroy Asgard. Asgard just does nothing. So Ultron in this universe is Ragnarok.
He's the
He
salad.
destroys what's the planet called? The gold people. What do they call them?
I'm trying to remember.
The Sanctuary? No, that's not it.
No. The Sovereign.
Yes, the Sovereign. The Guardians die. He then destroys Xandar, and for a split second, I thought it was the superhero Nova.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was Nova, but it was actually Captain Marvel, which it's not a bad thing, of course. But those two fight, and Ultron destroys Xandar and destroys the entire universe. And I love the parallel that we have with Vision after I keep calling him Vision, Ultron. After he destroys his whole entire universe, and Doctor Strange in his episode of What If, the parallels of them two being lonely, and the parallels of them two hearing the Watcher as the last beings in their universe.
I also like how he was like, "Who said that?" He's like, "I can see you."
Right.
He said it so creepily. Like the thing is like it wasn't James Spader who voice acted Ultron in this episode. It was someone else. But damn, I was like, "Ooh, is that Spader?"
Right.
And I had to rewatch the opening credits. I was like, "Oh, it's not him." Yeah, he's creepy when he's powerful. He's real creepy. I put it on record. I think just even before this episode, I thought Ultron was one of the most interesting villains.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought his whole philosophy as a villain was just more compelling than most villains in the MCU.
Yeah.
And I also think my favorite meme come from What If is like, that SpongeBob meme of like heroes in the Infinity Saga, and it's like,
yeah, we talked
SpongeBob.
about this a little bit. Yeah.
And then it's like the heroes in What If are like the all weird looking SpongeBob, the small guy. But bro, the villains in What If are the big, strong SpongeBob. But bro, then we get the bitches in the MCU themselves. Let me ask you this: Who are the 5 best villains of the MCU?
The regular timeline.
Regular timeline.
Thanos, Killmonger.
Yep.
Loki.
Yep.
This is so tough. These next ones, I love the Mandarin.
I say Ultron. Because look, let me ask you this: Is Taskmaster in there?
Oh, definitely not.
Dreykov?
No.
Malekith?
Absolutely not.
Red Skull?
No.
Who even is the fucking villain of Winter Soldier?
Bucky.
Bucky? But is he really a villain? Because yeah, I guess. So you can put Bucky in there?
Yeah, I put Bucky and the Bucky and Mandarin, and then Ultron's like 6, Vulture 7.
Oh, I forgot about Vulture. I'm putting Vulture in my top 5.
I love Michael Keaton, but yeah, the villains of What If are substantially like cooler.
Then literally every villain, maybe other than like the first episode, every villain has just been so much better. Like, let me tell you this. Who like Hank Pym? When is he more interesting? When he's the normal Hank Pym that we know from Ant-Man, or when he's fucking killing the Avengers?
When he's killing guys like Thor, that is way more interesting.
Yes. He killed the Hulk.
Yeah.
Blew him up. Like, it's crazy. He's a crazy villain.
Right.
That's what he. They just work better as villains, bro. I'm telling
Right.
you. You know, Phase Four has had a real villains problem. Agatha wasn't really a good villain. Carly wasn't a really good villain. There's a debate if He Who Remains was a good villain.
Right.
He didn't really do anything. He kind of talked a lot.
Right. But the setup is cool for him.
Yeah. If you understand what was happening outside, like with Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, like Jonathan Majors being He Who Remains, then yeah, it
Right.
makes more sense. But if you didn't understand,
On
you
face
didn't.
value, it's pretty boring. It's just a
Yeah.
guy talking. Yeah.
Dreykov wasn't really good. So far, I think the best Phase Four villain was Wenwu. So
Maybe that's why I overrate him because the Phase 4 villains haven't been great. Maybe that's why.
yeah, but like I will say that, like, to go quickly off topic. You know, I don't know. I'll ask this later. I'll ask this later because I'm gonna ask you a question, and I don't know how you'll answer.
Okay.
So I don't know. Do you got anything else about what if?
Yeah, I guess the last thing we should touch on is the fight between the Watcher and Ultron, which by
Oh,
the
I
way,
completely forgot about. Oh my goodness.
Ultron is terrified in that fight. Like the Watcher just doesn't know where he's coming from, and I'm like, oh my god, this is absolutely terrifying. And
Yes.
I just love how like obviously we know we this episode establishes that the Infinity Stones are even more powerful than we first
Crazy.
thought.
Which which honestly is a good thing because coming off of Loki, bro, those things got nerfed hardcore
Right.
from
Which then
Loki.
again explains how powerful the TVA is. And then this
Yeah.
also explains how powerful the Watchers. Like the Watcher, he escaped, but he beat Ultron.
Yes. My man fought all six stones in basically one.
Right. And they flew through. Somebody said that they saw Mustafar. There's a planet that looks like Mustafar, I guess.
There were
Um,
so many people were calling out so many like other franchises like Easter
right.
eggs. People were saying there was an Avatar Easter egg, a Star Wars Easter
It
egg.
probably was.
Yeah, who
Yeah.
knows?
And then Steve Rogers as president. And then we have the terrifying shot of Vision just like eating galaxies. That was
Oh my, Galactus on us, bro.
Galactus. Yeah.
Let me ask you this question. Not the question I was gonna ask. Who do you think would win? Ultimate Vision or Ultimate Ultron or Galactus?
Ultimate Ultron.
He has to. Even if he
Right.
doesn't know even if he doesn't know that he can snap his fingers and like destroy every single reality known to man. He's still crazy. He
By the
ate a
way,
universe.
I will say the Watcher was cool in this episode, and I also love when he's watching Hawkeye and Natasha look through the
Yes.
files. He's like,
He's like
it's right there.
it's
It's
right.
literally right there. And
Yes.
he's literally like just being like, it's there. It's right there. You
He's
can grab
literally
it.
he's literally like a fan watching a movie.
Right. It's like a person watching a horror movie. Like, don't go in there. Don't
Don't
go in there.
Oh my goodness, he went in there. Yeah,
Uh,
it was funny. I love him so much.
and I love how Clint just gives up at the last box, and he's just like,
Yeah.
no,
I was like, no, what are you doing?
no. And then
Yeah.
like, I love how Vision becomes. I'm gonna keep calling him Vision. You know who I'm talking about. Ultron
Yeah.
becomes the Watcher. Like he can
Mhm.
see everything, and
Yeah.
yeah, I thought that was good. And then somehow because of the reality or the Mind Stone, he's able to see other multiverses.
I don't know. I think it could just be the Mind Stone.
Right. Yeah, that would make sense. Yeah.
So
Got anything else to say, Alex, before we move into Venom?
I don't. I love this episode. It's my favorite episode thus far. Worried honestly about the finale, but
Right.
save my thoughts for next week.
I'm excited. Do you think that this Supreme Ultron dies?
Yeah. I don't think
Probably.
I mean what other purpose would he have?
Right. But it's cool that What If explored the character of Ultron more, who probably won't be in
Yeah.
the main MCU timeline. So guys, without further ado, it is time to move into our second main topic, which is going to be a Venom Let There Be Carnage preview. Alex and I did this for Shang-Chi. We did the questions, 15 questions, and we're going to give our answers uh, for this movie. So, Alex, do you want to ask the first question?
Sure. All right, Drew. For Venom, Let There Be Carnage, what are you most excited for?
Venom and Carnage to face off. I mean, Carnage from all the trailers looks absolutely fantastic. I can't wait to see that fight. I am not a huge fan of the Riot versus Venom fight, so I kind of want this to be a little bit of a redeeming fight
Mm,
from that first one. Carnage looks great, as I was saying earlier, and I just can't wait to see it. It better be ultra violent as
yeah.
it can be. Alex, how about
Uh,
you?
I'm excited to see more Venom. Some of the trailer or some of the promo footage, bro, has got me questioning how serious this movie's gonna be. But then again, the first Venom wasn't very serious. So
Right.
yeah, I'm just excited to see more Venom. Like he was good in the first movie, like really good. I really liked him.
I
I
love the
still,
relation. I
I
love the
still,
relationship
yeah,
between Eddie and Venom.
I will also say I watched Spider-Man 3 like a few years ago. I haven't seen it since. So I have all three of the Raimi films on Blu-ray. I've only rewatched the first one thus far. I still have not rewatched 2 or 3 yet. So I'm not gonna compare or say this is better than the Raimi Venom. So I'm not gonna say anything about that. So
It is, but that's just that's. Well, I'll let you make your own decision. Alex, I'll ask the second question. What are you worried about? And don't answer this with question 5. You can't say that.
oh, come on. That's my biggest worry about this movie. Okay. My biggest worry about this movie, the hype. I think it's being a little too overhyped right now.
Okay.
I think I think people are putting it like, "Oh my gosh, this post-credit scene's going to blow your mind." And it's like, "What if it doesn't blow my mind?"
Right.
I don't want to say this is a bad movie because it didn't live up to expectations. I don't know about you. What is your major concern?
That this movie exacerbates everything I dislike about the first Venom movie, which is literally every single other character besides Venom and Eddie. I want this movie to make me actually enjoy his wife, who I literally cannot even, or not his wife, his former
X.
girlfriend, who I literally I don't even know her name.
Annie.
Sorry, Annie. I should pay attention to movies. But like, you know how other MCU films they make you care about the side characters? Shun-Chi is a perfect example of that. I care about Jean Lane and I like the character of Aquafina. Or
Mhm.
Katie, played by
Yeah.
Aquafina. But this movie I literally do not care about the side characters. I kind of want to care about the side characters for Venom Let There Be Carnage because I want to build this world. If this is going to be a separate thing from the MCU, I kind of need other supporting characters that are alongside the anti-heroes or the heroes of the Spider-Verse or whatever the
Right.
Sony's calling it.
Yeah.
So that's my biggest worry for the film is it's Venom 1, just a shorter version of it, cuz I'm not a huge fan of that first Venom, and I've heard from people's early reactions if you love the first Venom, you're going to like this. And if you're not a huge fan, so like I don't hate the first Venom, it's 6 out of 10 material for me. So I don't want a 6 out of 10 movie. I because I love the character of Venom and Eddie. Um,
Mm.
Alex, what ask the third question?
Sure. Okay. What do you think, or how much do you think it will make in the box office?
So for reference, Shun-Chi made about 70 million opening weekend, which blew our predictions out of the water. It's done fantastic at the box office. Save movie theaters, basically.
Yeah.
Um, I think it makes a little under 50 million. You?
Honestly, I think it kind of makes just under 40 million.
Okay, that makes sense. You know, it hasn't been marketed as much as Shun-Chi. There's been a big push the last week. I don't know if you've noticed that, but
Yeah.
um, I I think it makes around a little under 50, um, because I don't think the movie will be as good as Shun-Chi. I think a lot of the reasons Shun-Chi gained a lot of popularity was because it was a good film and people talked about it. And there's also a lot of other movies coming out in October, um, after Venom. So there's No Time to Die. That's the James Bond film. There's Dune. There's Halloween Kills. So people probably like, we'll skip Venom. There's other more important movies in the month of October.
Yeah.
So I could see that being a reason why this film just doesn't make as much. But I still think it will be pretty successful for the times.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Question 4. Will this movie be better than the first Venom?
Yeah, I hope so. I hope so. I love the first Venom movie. It's not like and I told you this. If I had to put it on like an overall Marvel, ranking scale, I guess we can consider this MCU canon because of the multiverse and whatnot. Wherever you want to put this.
Right.
If I had to put this with all the Marvel movies that I've seen, I put it about average, run of the mill, middle-ish, maybe middle towards the back. It's not bad. It's not great either. If I had to compare it to say something like Spider-Man 1, no, I'm going to say Spider-Man 1 was much better.
Right.
But if I had to say like compare it to say something like Black Widow, I would say I enjoyed Venom more.
That's fair. That's fair.
Personally, I don't know about you.
Yeah, I put this movie like below Age of Ultron. So like below the middle, like in that middle to it's not as bad as like Dark World, Captain Marvel, Iron Man 2. It's not that bad. Ant-Man and the Wasp. It's above that in the middle pack, I think, in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just not my cup of tea. I
Right, yeah.
But that's and my thing is I do think this movie will be better than the first Venom for a couple of reasons. One, we'll talk about this in the next question a little bit. It's runtime, and two, I think they have a great cast: Tom Hardy and Woody Harrelson playing Carnage. I think that's gonna be fantastic. They released a clip today of Carnage breaking out of jail. I don't know why they did, but it looked terrifying. I think Woody Harrelson's going to do a great job as Cletus Cassidy and Carnage. So I have hope because I'm not a big fan of Riot. It's like rich guy
If I
becomes
if I had to
symbiote.
put him on like my MCU thing, like I'll give like 3 or 4 or 5 tiers for villain. I'd say there's the dynamic villain, Thanos, Killmonger. Then I'd say there is the I would say like the Darren Cross kind of villain. You understand their motives. They're just not as good as someone like Killmonger or Thanos. Then you have kind of like your Ultron. Good villain, not as good as you'd say someone like Thanos or something. Then you're kind of getting towards your like the second tier. I would say you get towards like your Endgame Thanos. He's menacing, but like he's not a huge villain. At the end of the day, he kind of gets dealt with pretty easily. I mean, pretty easily. We lose Tony Stark and Black Widow, but you know what I mean. He doesn't pose a threat like the first Thanos did. So maybe that wasn't a good example, but kind of like Ironmonger. Not a bad villain, not really great either. But then you get your Malekith, your
Right.
all the. I would say Riot kind of falls in that Ironmonger stage.
Okay. That's
not
fair.
not amazing. There's some good traits to him. Like he's like a very vicious person, Riot
Right.
and Drake, but he's not really, Ultron level.
Oh, totally. I agree. Alex, you want to ask the fifth question?
Yes, the fifth question for us is: will the runtime of only an hour and a half hurt this movie?
I say it helps the movie because I don't think every superhero movie needs to be 2 hours long. I feel like it's going to be beneficial to this movie, especially since Venom, it's just a wacky character. It's violent, it's wacky, it's different. There's not a lot of heart, I guess you would say, for a Venom movie. You don't need a dynamic relationship for this this character. So like an hour and a half, I think is going to be beneficial to this film, especially since I think the first film has a lot of pacing issues, especially with the first hour. It is very boring and like drags. I think the quick pace will help this movie. It's just gonna be a goofy, wacky movie, and that's what like the Venom movies should be, in my opinion.
I personally wish it was like a little longer, like an hour 45. I just it. I'm sorry. I have just bad history with superhero movies being so short. Tell
Right?
me, is Thor: The Dark World and Ant-Man and the Wasp, are those good movies?
No.
No, they're not. You know why? So much happened in such a short amount of time. They couldn't explain anything properly, so nothing made sense. At least with the first movie, I understood what was going on. Even
Okay.
if even if it was slow, I understood the whole thing about the symbiotes. I'm afraid that if they go too quick with this movie, it's not gonna make sense and it's not gonna be a good viewing experience.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
that's just me personally.
I just feel like like the Venom movie should be like batshit crazy. Just
Yeah,
throw everything at it. That's just the way I feel like with the character and stuff. I think it just fits. And I
yeah.
understand you think about like the Marvel movies. I just think those characters are a little different. Um so yeah, that's just the way I feel about it. But the sixth question we have is, will Carnage win at any point in this movie? Alex?
I think he'll win once, but I don't think he'll win the movie.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah, I definitely think he wins at least once, or at least I hope so. You
Well,
have
yeah,
to
because like,
establish your villain as menacing.
Riot won their first fight. He
Yeah,
he killed Eddie, and then Venom
right,
revived him. So yeah, I think he'll win. Why not?
right. Yeah, I just think it makes sense. Alex, question 7. You want to ask that?
Will we see She Venom at some point? Who is She Venom?
Uh, it's the you know how Venom the symbiote bonds with the old girlfriend.
Oh yeah.
That's She
Oh,
Venom.
that's her name.
That's yeah, it's She Venom.
That's a terrible name. Um. Sure. I don't know. I don't see a. I don't see. I don't see a point. I don't see a
the
point
first
to
time
see it.
Alex the first time Alex doesn't pay attention. Um no, but like
No, I remembered that that happened, but I didn't know she was called that.
right, but
I just thought it
yeah,
was Venom.
I think we see her. I think she somehow gets captured by Cletus Cassidy or Carnage, and Venom's like, "Oh shit, I have to
What
get
if
out of."
what if Carnage bonds with her? Oh, that'd be fucked.
I don't think
Carnage
that's gonna. That would be nuts.
Carnage bonds with Annie, and Eddie has to fight
Oh, that'd be
Annie.
nuts. That's
That'd be
actually a good idea.
that'd be terrible. Like, oh my
Right.
goodness, my heart would not be able to handle it. I shipped them
I
so
just wouldn't
hard.
care if she died. Sorry, I have to say that.
I would.
Um,
I shipped them so hard together.
will there be any other symbiotes besides Venom and Carnage?
Sure. Why not some mentions? Why not? Have some fun to it. Do you think there'll be any other
I
symbiotes?
mean, I think there's a possibility. Like we don't know what's up with. Like they could have escaped Drake's facility.
Right, yeah.
They could just be running around, and maybe we get a setup for. This kind of sucks that I have to talk around. Okay, I'm not gonna say anymore. But we could get a setup for uh, uh future Venom stories with
Yeah.
other symbiotes. So I think that could make sense. Or we see like the offspring of Carnage, or Eddie
Yeah.
has a kid, or something like that. I don't know.
Could you imagine if Eddie had a kid while Venom was inside of him?
That would
Let me
that would
ask
be
you, do you think if that happened, do you think that the symbiote Venom would bond with Eddie's kid?
yeah,
Uh, could you just imagine Eddie? I'm not
dude,
even. I'm not
dude.
gonna. I'm not gonna go into what I was gonna
Could
say.
symbiotes bond with babies?
That would be. We saw him. We saw a symbiote bond with a baby or
But
with a little kid.
right. So I'm gonna
So
say
who
yes.
knows? Yeah.
And with a dog, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, so definitely a baby then. Yeah.
Yeah.
Question 9, Alex. You want to ask that? It's a pretty simple one.
Yep. Will Carnage die?
I
What do
say
you think?
no.
Really?
I say no. He just goes back to prison. They do the you go back to prison thing, and maybe we see him later in this Venom Spider Sony verse thing, whatever you want to call it.
I think Venom dies.
You think Venom dies?
Oh, not Venom. Fuck. Fuck. Yeah. Carnage.
Really?
Yeah.
Why do you say that?
What are you gonna do with him after?
Just put him back in prison, like I said.
And do what? Get out
You
again?
could just yeah, you did it with Zemo. I don't know why I said Zemo. I don't know why I said that. It's the first thing that came to my head.
There's a difference there, bitch.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, why not? It's Woody Harrelson. Keep him around. What do you think the end credit scene will be? I have to be really careful talking about this.
Yeah, you better not leak anything. You gotta get set. You're gonna get some real mad fans and real mad me.
Alex, you actually, I don't feel comfortable. Actually, just answer this question because I kind of
You.
know.
Oh my goodness. What is the question? What do I think the post credit scene's gonna be?
Yeah.
I assume it's gonna be something to link with Spider-Man No Way Home.
Really,
Like
you think so?
it has to be. If it's as crazy as people are saying it's gonna be, some sort of link to Spider-Man No Way Home.
Well, people said the Shang-Chi post-credit scene was crazy, and that wasn't crazy. That was good, not crazy.
It was crazy.
It was
Xiaolin became
good.
the leader of the Ten Rings. And we found out some more origin of the Ten Rings.
It was
I'm
good,
sorry.
not crazy.
I'm sorry.
How,
10 bracelets.
how do you think this connects to No Way Home?
Who knows? But it connects. It's all connected. Coincidence? I think not.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not gonna answer that question because
Coincidence that Venom Let There Be Carnage comes out the same year Spider-Man Home No Way Home? Coincidence? I think not.
no, I think pandemic. The 11th question, Alex, you can ask it.
Will we get a Venom 3?
Absolutely. Every
Sure.
superhero
Why not?
gets trilogy. Why not?
Yeah. Why not?
Another crazy movie with Eddie and I really hope he's in the MCU at some point. We'll talk about that later. So I kind of want more Venom. But yeah, why not give him a trilogy?
Why not? I agree. It'll be fun.
Question 12. Will this movie set up Venom coming into the MCU? Alex, go ahead.
Sure. I think he should just come into Spider-Man No Way Home, personally.
As a villain?
No, as a hero. Venom. Okay, let's say this. Eddie is a hero. Venom is like an anti-hero.
Venom's just a dick.
Again, my favorite scene is when he tells Eddie to jump out the window, and Eddie's like, "No!" And then when they're going down the elevator, he's like, "Pussy." Yeah, it's like, bro, Venom. Like, we need to remember, Venom is not a good entity.
No.
He eats people. We see him eat a lot of cops when him and Eddie become like bonded together.
Yeah.
So this is not something that's just like, oh, Venom's such a good guy. No, at the end of the movie, he eats someone.
Right.
So, yeah, I think why not? I mean, I think it works.
We have a multiverse now. Why not? I mean, why would you just... You're going to introduce Venom at some point with Tom. Why not just have Tom Hardy play the Venom of...
Let me ask you, do you think that little creature that we see jump at Peter in the No Way Home trailer was Venom and not Lizard?
Nah, it's Lizard.
Multiverse possibility.
It could be, but it's Lizard. Question 13.
It could be Lizard. It's Venom. Will we get a reference to Morbius? I almost said Mobius.
I was like,
Mobius. Where's he at?
Why not? I mean, his movie comes out in January, played by Jared Leto. It might be in the same universe, so why not? What?
What's Morbius?
Wait, wait, you don't know? You
What's
don't know?
wait? Morbius is a superhero movie?
Yeah. Okay. So look, do you want me? Did you not know this?
Nope.
Okay. So it comes out the month after. Wow. But see, guys, Alex knows nothing. What are you doing, by the way? What is happening? Okay. So Morbius is basically a vampire.
Oh.
Uh, I'm gonna have to send you the trailer tonight. God damn it! I should have thought you would have known this. Um, Jared Leto, the guy Jared Leto. You know, is it not? Is it? I'm dropping my AirPods down too.
I've angered you so much that you're dropping everything.
Is it Jared Leto? Yes, Jared Leto, who plays Joker, is playing Morbius, this vampire guy. Do you think we get a reference to? You know, it's screw it. We're not even gonna do this question.
Sure,
Uh,
why not? Whoever he
okay.
is.
Question 14. Did we get a Spider-Man reference?
Yeah.
I feel
He's
like we
very,
do.
I think he should be in No Way Home, so yes, we should absolutely get a reference.
I feel like
Also,
we do.
I like how we're talking about Venom, Let There Be Carnage, but we're not talking about the Spider-Man 2 game. I think you talk about it while I was gone?
No, I didn't. I talked about KOTOR, and that was it.
No, you should have talked about that game. We're gonna talk about it then. We're gonna
No,
divulge somehow into that game.
we're not. Yeah, we
Yes.
get a Spider-Man reference.
Yes, why not?
Yeah,
I think he should be in No Way Home. So like, yes, absolutely.
bold prediction.
Bold prediction.
Yeah.
My bold prediction is. Man, don't put me on the spot like that. Do you have one before so I can think real fast?
Venom ends up in the main MCU timeline by the end of the film.
Honestly, that was kind of what I was going towards.
Wow. Do you want me to change it then?
No. I can change mine. I think Annie will die. Annie or her fiance will
Husband.
die.
Yeah, I hope he dies too.
Husband or fiance, who knows? Look, I love peace.
All right, that's his name. I didn't even know. All right, guys, it's time to now transition.
I don't know her fiance's name. I think it's like Dave or something. David.
I think
Something.
so. Now I'm gonna transition into. Did you see this today? We didn't even talk about it. We're gonna transition now into the Book of Boba Fett.
Yes, I did. I was so
Okay,
excited.
time to. This comes from the great company known as Star Wars and Lucasfilm.
Their marketing department has gotten somewhat better. At least we're
Here's
getting some reveals.
here's part of the poster, which by the way is my new favorite poster, and it's gonna be the poster that's behind me. So when that comes out, that'll be the new poster that's behind me.
Yes, I want it. I want 1,000 of them.
I mean, it looks so good. I mean, I know it's
Yes.
not the full one I have on screen right now, but it looks so good.
Yes.
And okay, so this is the Star Wars article. The Book of Boba Fett will premiere December 29th on Disney Plus, which is also the Hawkeye finale.
Yes, crazy timing right there.
Alex, I was looking at the schedule today that we have. Within a matter of 2 weeks, we have to do a No Way Home preview, have to talk about Hawkeye, have to do a Hawkeye episode and a Boba Fett preview, and then we have to do Hawkeye finale and Boba Fett episode 1.
And Spider-Man No Way Home reveal or review.
Yeah, and we were talking about Alex and I doing watches or reactions. I don't know how we're gonna do that, especially if they're gonna have 2 shows out at once. So
Yeah, too much. We'll see.
Yeah, here's the full poster right here. This is badass.
Crazy. It looks like, as bad as it sounds, it looks like he's like lost weight. Like he's slimmed down.
Maybe, I don't know. That's so mean of you.
I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry.
I
Considering
know.
when he was brought in, he was bullied profusely on the internet.
Which was ridiculous, but
Yes.
it is what it is. Yeah, so this is the plot synopsis here. This is the big thing. This is what we see in Mandalorian season 2. Post credit scene: the Book of Boba Fett, a thrilling Star Wars Avenger, finds legendary bounty hunter Boba Fett and mercenary Fennec Shan navigating the galaxy's underworld when they return to the sands of Tatooine to stake their claim on the territory once ruled by Jabba the Hutt and his crime syndicate. So we get confirmation about what the show is going to be about. Alex, what do you think about all this news, my man?
Well, hold on. Have you talked about the episode titles that got leaked?
They're not real, or
They're not.
I don't trust the source. I didn't talk about them now.
Yeah, they sus. Okay, they were a little sus. But like, I am excited for this show now, which I feel so bad because I was always dogging on this show. Like, oh, who cares? Not like Lucasfilm's going to give us a trailer until the day before. Like, which we still don't have a trailer, which is mad
Right,
upsetting, by the way.
but we're 3 months
Upsetting.
out, Alex. We're 12 weeks away.
Who cares? Didn't what? When did Hawkeye get its trailer? Like a
Two,
few.
2 months, little over 2 months.
Yeah, so we better be getting a trailer like tomorrow.
I could see a trailer theoretically at the earliest next week, because if Boba Fett, uh, they did, I mean, for Mandalorian, they had the poster, and then they had the trailer the following Tuesday. So they had it a week later. So maybe they do something like that where we get it next Wednesday, but I doubt it.
Yeah. I think it's interesting that Disney's putting everything on Wednesday. I
Yeah, I don't
understand.
like it.
I don't either. It's middle of the week and whatnot. So yeah, it's I honestly, if you want my recommendation, I would upload everything on a Saturday. That's
Yeah,
the weekend. Everyone's gonna have mostly everyone's gonna have everything off, so you can like actually time it and like have everybody watch it.
yeah. And I don't know if you noticed this, Alex. But Boba's armor is like scratched in this.
It is. It looks like he's been through some stuff.
And somebody said the reflection looks like somebody's lightsaber, which I don't
Uh,
think it is, but
no,
it could be.
that no. Stop theorizing. I don't want to hear about your theories.
And his armor does look a little different. I mean, it is Mando season 2 armor, but it looks a little touched up. So
It does. It looks weathered. It looks really good.
it does. It looks I this being the first shot or artist rendition of the Book of
Yeah.
Boba Fett is fantastic. Like Boba looks like a boss. Like when you talk about Boba Fett, this is the
Yes.
picture I would think of. So fantastic. December 29th, a busy day. A crazy late Christmas gift we're getting with
Yes.
Hawkeye and Boba. All right. The next topic, Alex, do you want to introduce the certain Marvel movie we're going to be talking about?
We're gonna be talking about Eternals.
Yeah. So, the past week, the Eternals has gotten its rating, and we've learned what its runtime is going to be. We've talked a lot about runtimes in
Mm-hmm.
this podcast, and this comes from us over at the folks at the Direct, and they say that according to Kino Metro, which is a Russian film distributor bulletin based in
Oh.
Moscow, the upcoming film Eternals run is listed at 156 minutes, which is 2 hours and 36 minutes. Other movies listed on the site, such as Halloween Kills and The Last Duel, have accurate runtimes. So this is probably an accurate number. 2 hours and 36 minutes for Eternals. And I'm going to get the rated up right now. It is PG-13, but it has an interesting aspect to it um, for, for a brief sexuality, which has never happened for a Marvel movie. And it had
No.
a rating of 18 plus in Russia.
Wow.
Alex, what do you make of the rating and the length of this film?
The runtime is the interesting part to me because I think it makes it just a little bit longer than Infinity War.
It is. It is.
So it's gonna be the second longest MCU movie, just behind Avengers Endgame.
Right?
I honestly thought the movie was gonna be like Venom, Let There Be Carnage time.
No,
Like
no,
one
no.
joke.
There's so many characters and they have to go through thousands of years. That makes sense to me. Like 2 hours, 2.5 hours for 10 characters makes sense to me. You're introduced to a new world,
That's
a
what
new adventure, new
I'm worried.
characters.
I'm worried about. I'm worried about this movie. I'm worried about it.
Okay, but are you worried about 2.5 hours with Eternals? Because a 2.5 hour
No,
movie can be boring.
it can be. Like, okay, let me tell you. There's Infinity War, which 2 hours and 30 minutes, not boring. Then
Right.
there's Attack of the Clones. That's pretty boring.
Throughout the entire movie.
Even the last act's kind of boring.
Yeah.
Um, so I don't know. I'm excited for that runtime though. Most movies that are that long are pretty good. So
Right. We're gonna get a lot of longer movies. Spider-Man No Way Home's rumored to be 2.5 hours, which it has to be.
it literally
Um,
has. Same with Doctor. I think Multiverse of Madness needs to be like 3 hours.
it's probably gonna be a 3 hour movie. Like I literally think it has to be a 3 hour.
If
No
if
Way Home.
I'm telling you, if Multiverse of Madness is shorter than No Way Home, I'm actually gonna throw a fit. Ain't
There's
no
so much
way.
stuff that's there's so much stuff that's literally not related to the character of the movie, the main character, that like you have to it has to be 2.5 hours long.
Literally, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness has so many rumors about everything but Doctor Strange that it's getting a little like worrisome.
Right. But anyways, back to Eternals. Yeah, I think that the runtime makes sense. Obviously, we're establishing these new 10 characters. We're going through thousands of years of history. We got to explain the Celestials. We got to explain where these characters have been, where they're going, what's this new adventure. So there's a lot of stuff. I would think, Alex, that the first part of this movie is going to be background about where these characters came from and stuff like that. So that's going to be the first act. Or maybe I'm wrong, but yeah, and then for I'll touch on my thoughts on the PG-13 rated makes sense. All Marvel films are PG-13, but brief sexuality and Russia had the 18 plus, and they only do that if there's gay content or anything that's related to the LGBTQ.
Well,
Um,
we only have one confirmed LGBTQ character, and that is Fastos. He's gay. We
right, and
even
I
we even know we're gonna see his husband. Like he's listed as a character.
right, and I think that's why um it's 18 plus in Russia. So, and I don't know why brief sexuality. They've never done that. So it's got to be something more than kissing.
Yeah. So do you think we're gonna be seeing some
No, I don't know because that would be R then.
alluded to like
Probably. Yeah, probably.
you know like how an Arrow when like they take their clothes off but they're not naked
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, probably.
I think
I
that
could
I
see
don't know.
that. Yeah. I could definitely see that. But is anything worrisome or do you like the runtime or
I'm okay
anything?
with it. I'm okay with it all.
Yeah, I totally agree. I'm Alex knows I'm really excited for this movie.
Yes,
I've kind of been higher on it than most people, and I
cannot
think
wait.
it's got big potential to be a top 10 MCU film, and it looks fantastic from the trailers. I can't wait to explore this side
Mhm.
of the MCU. And our final topic revolves around Diego Luna, the great Diego Luna, who was playing Cassian Andor. And he had
And
some comments about the Andor show. Um, let's get that up right now. He says, "Yeah, you'll definitely see familiar faces." Luna told Deadline about Andor while promoting the return of his Amazon Prime Video original series Pan E Circle on October 8th. I can tell you about the project like no other because I can't spoil the ending. If you've seen Star Wars Rogue One already, no matter what I say, can't ruin the ending. Obviously, Diego Luna dies. Cassian dies. Diego Luna's Cassian dies.
I was gonna say.
Diego Luna does not die. I'm sorry about that. I always mix up actors and their characters. He says, "You'll definitely see familiar faces." Now, I'm not questioning Diego Luna's Star Wars knowledge. but most actors, their Star Wars knowledge is minimal compared to ours. So when he says familiar faces, I'm thinking big time, like Vader.
I think when I think of familiar faces coming from an actor, I'm thinking like stormtroopers. Hate to,
Okay,
that's familiar face right there. I don't know.
Vader.
I don't trust actors. No, I don't think we'll see Vader in the show.
I definitely think we see Vader,
No, nope, not a
but
chance.
not in a big role. Krennic. I think he's also talking about Rogue One characters. I think we see Krennic. That would make a lot of sense.
Yep,
I think we see Jin's. What the hell is Jin's dad's name?
Galen.
Galen or so. I think we see Saw Gerrera, obviously.
Yep,
Bail
maybe.
Organa.
Yeah.
I think this show, like we've talked a little bit about it, this show is super underrated. There's a lot of stuff we can explore. I really want to
Yes.
explore the dynamic of the rebellion, the pacifist, and could I say it, dare not say it, the terrorist side, the side that wants to just go to war. I mean, they're all terrorists technically. Um, they are fighting against a government regime, but I want to see that conflict because I'm not a big Mon Mothma fan, and I want to see that conflict
I
between Mon
know, right?
Mothma and the people want to go to war in the rebellion, and then
Saw
Bail
Gerrera.
Organa try to mediate it.
Yeah, I think we got a little bit of that in Rebels with that whole conversation with Mothma and Guerrera. But yeah, it's like I would honestly be really down to kind of see like um, see some differing opinions about the rebellion inside the rebellion.
Right. Yeah, I totally agree with that. And I would also really love to see um Cassian alludes to how he's done some bad stuff. I'd like to see not just Cassian, but other members of the rebellion, have to do some really bad stuff. If you want to
But
defeat an
let,
oppressive government, you got to
let, let me ask you this. Do you think we could see Agent Callus in the show?
definitely. I think I
Yularen.
Yeah. Oh, of course. I think it would make sense. I think Star Wars is definitely going to be more interconnected like Marvel, and it's just going to make sense to see more familiar faces. I think,
Yeah.
yeah, I totally agree with that.
Okay. So,
Do you have
oh yeah.
do you have anything else to say? I was just going to ask.
Oh no, about Andor, no.
Okay. So,
But
I
I
mean
still
that's
have I still have my three questions for you.
all right. We'll wrap this up with that.
Okay, so my three questions for you, they are going to be MCU related, okay?
Okay.
What is an opinion that you will die on that hill? But it's got to be super unpopular. Like for a basis, it should make me turn my head to you, be like, what?
Um this is so tough. Um
I can say one.
um
I think Worthy Cap is easily in the top 5 most powerful beings in Marvel.
I wouldn't turn my head at that.
I've heard a lot of people turn their head at that towards me.
Um I don't know. Ant-Man and the Wasp is the worst Marvel movie.
Man, what? How?
It's bad.
Worse than Dark World?
I just said that. I don't believe it. I don't know. Ask me your second question.
Okay, my second question is okay, who wins in a fight? Supreme Strange or full powered Scarlet Witch?
Full powered Scarlet Witch. She's literally a multiversal being.
Ooh, okay, I agree. Okay, and okay. Who do you think is what is the most overrated MCU movie or opinion?
Um, the the notion that Wanda should be a redeemable and good character.
Okay. I know this one's gonna make you a little upset. I think Shang-Chi is severely overrated.
It doesn't make me upset. It's your opinion, but yeah, some opinions are bad.
I think it's so severely overrated. I think because of how overhyped the movie is, I think it falls to just about where like Venom would fall.
Oh no, it's not that bad. No, no,
Bro,
no.
I'm sorry. I can't live with that hype. I do not.
Okay.
Uh, and
Yeah, I will say.
you want to know
I,
another one?
yeah, yeah.
I don't think Wenwu's that good of a villain.
Such a bad take. But anyways, I gotta stop listening to people who go get to see the movies early because I have to learn the lesson. I know this. They're just gonna be positive about it most of the time. They may say one negative thing, but you like it. No,
Yeah, guess what? I'm gonna be here honest. I'm gonna be your truthful guy here.
right?
I'm not gonna fabricate anything.
No, no, no. If Venom sucks, I'm gonna be like, yeah, Venom Let There Be Carnage sucks. We'll just straight up say it.
Yeah, I'm gonna be like, yeah, Venom, Let There Be Carnage was ass.
All right, guys. I think that's gonna wrap up the podcast. It was great to have you back, man. It felt so natural. It felt good. Um, we'll
Hey,
be back.
you held down the fort while I was gone, so
Oh yeah, and I hope you would do the same. You probably wouldn't, but
I
um,
would. Oh, bitch, I would.
he would. Um, we'll be back. I don't know when. Probably
Well,
sometime this weekend, maybe. I don't know.
yeah,
We're
either
gonna do.
Friday or Saturday. We'll be back.
We'll be do a recap of Venom. Let There Be Carnage, and then next Wednesday, we'll talk about the finale of What If. Um, until next time, we will see you all then. Peace.